Hello, my name is Ayo Marie, and I have multiple sclerosis. When I first came to YouTube, I started noticing videos from other people that have MS also, and they were telling their diagnosis and their stories and their struggles and their plans, and I found it very helpful and very supportive to know that I could talk to these people out here and they would understand exactly what I was going through. So that made me decide to do my own video. So I'm going to tell my story, and maybe it will help someone newly diagnosed or someone to understand MS that doesn't know anyone that has it. Anyway, about 5.5 years ago, I started noticing I was walking and I was getting tired from everyday walking, nothing strenuous or anything. And I worked in a factory and I fell down twice, right on my ass. Didn't get hurt, but I didn't trip over anything. I just fell. And the third time I fell flat down on my face. So I knew something was wrong. I went to my doctor and he sent me to a neurologist. And he wanted to set up an appointment to have an MRI done of my spine and brain. And he named off like 10 different things to check for, and MS was one of them. Went in, had my spine MRI, came back fine. Went in on a Wednesday. My dad took me in, had the brain MRI, went back home to my parents' house. I had to move from my apartment because it had stairs and I couldn't walk up and down anymore on them. So both my parents were at work and my cell phone rang and I picked it up and the doctor's office said, "We want you to come in tomorrow. We want to do a spinal tap and check the protein in your spine." And I was like, "All right, but may I ask why?" And they were apprehensive, but I'm stubborn. And they told me they found 4 lesions on my brain, and more than likely I have multiple sclerosis. So I went in, had it done, and they were correct. I do have MS. That was followed by 3 days of steroid treatments, Celumedrol. And the only negative thing about that is it leaves an aluminum taste in your mouth, but that goes away pretty quick, for me anyway. So I sat in with a doctor and he explained exactly what MS is and the symptoms and the signs, and everybody's different. And I had no idea. I was in shock when they called me and told me. I didn't cry or yell. I was just like, okay, I have MS. What does this mean? I mean, the only thing I knew about MS was that people that had it had a hard time, difficulty walking, or couldn't walk at all. And actually, there's a lady I know, a great lady, who still works at the place I used to work. She's had MS for years, and she's still going strong. Anyway, he talked about the medicines, and he decided to put me on Copaxone, which I ended up taking for a year. But now I take Rebif. But when I first started taking Copaxone and I was trying to deal with this, I hated myself. I hated MS, and anybody with MS will tell you this. You ask yourself why. Like, what the hell did I do to deserve this? I mean, when I was younger, I was irresponsible and I was a badass partier, but I know it's not why I got it. Anyway, I hated myself for a long time. I doubted myself as a person, and I doubted myself as a woman, and I hated everything. I'm 41 years old, or at the time I was 39, and I can't stand up and walk across a room, or pretty much take 2 steps without a walker. And then I sat there and thought about how blessed I really am. I mean, I told myself, you need to wake the hell up. Yes, you've got MS. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't change it. You've got to live with it. And you think about the people. There's people that go through so much more than I do, and I know that. I'm not saying it's easy, but I've got the most incredible family and friends anybody could ever ask for. I got the best. um, I'm not trying to make it sound easy. MS is a bitch, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But you've got to live with it. You've got to deal with what's going on. And from all the videos that I've seen and watched, um, from Mark's to Maria's to Vern's, and there's one video, actually in particular Harvey from the UK. His one video where he talked about how you take the negative and you put a positive spin on it. You don't really have any other choice. And I do that. I think about things like, I had to retire from my job at 39. And then I'm thinking, you know what? Wait a minute. How many people do you know that get to retire that young? I think about my nieces and nephews. My oldest niece is going to be 17, and my youngest one he's 1.5. He's a cutie. And I have 2 nephews and 1 little niece who they've never seen me walk. From the time they've known me, I've had the chair or the walker. And I hate that. I mean, I can't. I can't take them for a walk or put them on my shoulder or take them driving somewhere. And I do hate that, but you know what? They're still my nieces and nephews. I love them and they love me. And we spend time together and we joke around and I read to the little ones and I can play with them, and there's not a sweeter sound that I've ever heard than Aunt Oni. So anyway, all I want to say is MS is hard, but you got to deal with it, you got to accept it, and you have to live with it. And I am. I'm hopeful someday, maybe, I'll be able to walk on my own. If I am, I am. If I'm not, I'm not. But if there's anything that I've learned from MS, is something that a friend of mine said. Irish Bear 76 said, savor what you have instead of hungering for what you have lost. And that rings so true. So, anyway, I don't know if this has been helpful to anybody, but I just had to do this. I wanted to do this. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch this, and I wish everybody the best, and God bless you, and I'll talk to you soon.